We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
What's going down, big baby? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire, and OM Jizzle. We are so real. Oh, yes. We are so real talking with you. And, of course, again, we are back in the house. So back. But back in the house with you. And you gotta already know how I always do. Y'all already know I'm gonna tell you that I love you. Because, again, it was not for y'all guys and gals being up in here. All y'all royal folks. Because, we all about talking to high-thinking people that want something out of life. This is what this is all about. We know if it wasn't for each and every single one of you coming out here wanting a little bit more in life, we wouldn't be here. So without any further ado, of course, I want to bring you into the house my special co-host, the beautiful, the talented, the educated, the businesswoman. We have in the house, we have Miss Chance. What's going on?
What's up, Brooke? How you doing? How you feeling tonight?
I'm chilling.
Thank you for the applause. I love the applause. It's such a warm welcome.
I appreciate that.
I like it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Because, that's how we like to do. So what's going down with you? How you been? What's going on? What's new? How your mama doing? Daddy doing? Grandparents and grandsisters? Are they grandsisters?
No, not that I know of. But the family's doing good.
Family's doing good.
Grandma's cooking some greens tonight and cornbread.
Oh, wow.
I'm mad I'm going to miss it.
Oh.
I'm mad I'm going to miss it. That greens, that cornbread, that chicken.
Let me tell you.
That chicken, that soul food.
Ain't nothing wrong with this. Can you cook?
I'm working on it. That's why I gotta go to grandma's house for lessons.
Right.
Yep, I gotta get lessons from grandma. I gotta start going over there more.
I can definitely dig it. So now we had church today. How was church for you? I know we were in there. What's going on? How your Sunday?
Yes, I think the worship was just awesome. And just the word for today of just faith, right? Having faith despite what your present circumstance looks like. Don't even look at it. It doesn't even matter.
Like, how do you live with that? Is that easy to do?
It's difficult. It's difficult to walk by sight.
Oh.
But he says, don't walk by sight.
You can't walk by sight.
But walk by faith. Come
on
now.
Come on, somebody. Come up in here. Yes, I'm telling you, it is. And you know what? And people don't realize, and this is to all of y'all out there, you got to realize that this is going to be what takes you to the next level. Because like he says, faith, like Pastor said, faith is the substance. Faith is your substance of the thing. So first you have to have the faith in the substance of the thing. Yes. Believing already in the faith that you have the thing that you want in your face.
Come on now.
Come on now to be able to bring it to you. So without any further ado, what we're going to do is take you straight into a little song and song. We got some special guests in the house, some real special guests in the house. Actually on the phone lines, of course, you know how we do here. It's all about making sure that we bring in the best executives, senators, politicians, and of course also live performances. So therefore, with that, all of you people, all of you talented individuals out there, you can come here and you'll be able to not only get educated, but you can actually put your stuff out there and make something happen. So without any further ado, we're going to be taking you to a shirt. Get you some shirts too. But then once we get you some shirts, we're going to take you into a short little song of this song for you real fast. And then we're going to, you know what I'm saying, bring you straight back in and let you meet our guest that we have in the house. So we'll be right back with you right here on Real Talk with Brookshire. We're high.
Love to everybody out there in a beautiful place. It's on the west side, so you gotta roll over here. See, welcome to the goddamn future. Mental Kama Sutra. Chris Young the rapper, Vision the producer. Holla hallelujah, Jesus Cristo. Show a nigga love, see we do it for the people. Bang bang biggity bumping in your region. Subwoofers, they customize demons. Heating down your repertoire. Good with the God that used to call me in Dago. I blocked the number cause I couldn't be faithful. But I knew her lost soul was at a crossroads. To cross over, make it and take the lost code. Crack the green dough, crack the queen hose. Benz the beamer, outcast your pinto. But more than anything, she just wanted to glow. So she gave me a bag of matches and she told me to blow. We ain't selling this show, they rush for all gold. We kick down the dough, it's us, baby. We puff the bomb, bro, we spit the bomb flow. So watch the bomb blow like whoa, we got to glow. See the Bay Area, they get hyphy. I'm on the ground getting down with the dynasties. Born in Sacktown, I guess she's a Pisces. Might be a lion, but I think the fish like me. Likely, I be smooth as molasses. Kiss Jew chicks that I see in Calabasas. I squeeze asses in Catholic masses. That's it, that's how we come back, bitch. Wicked West Side, gotta take a test drive before you get whipped by the soul where the best died. This ain't an anthem, you are the anthem. You love to own the city, but you love to own the phantom. So we'll hold this for ransom. Glow in the dark like a Kanye tantrum. She drives me crazy. New York, somebody gotta save me. We selling it so they rush for all gold. We kick down the door. It's us, baby. We puff the
Yeah. What's happening, big baby? It's your main man, Mr. Brookshire. And of course, we have the beautiful Miss Chance in the house. And we are so live and we are so back. So without no further ado, of course, I want to bring into you in the house a very special guest. Of course, very, very special guest. We have the former director of publicity to the stars of Arista. So that's Whitney, that's Biggie, that's Usher, that's Tony Braxton, Aretha. I mean, this is the person that actually helped make their careers. And then also we have best-selling author of the movie Soul Food, well, the movie book Soul Food that came into a book, and of also the Web of Deception. We also have the Biggie, the last listening parties, of course, with Biggie Smalls, and of course we have Ask the Good Doctor. We have in the house, with no further ado, we want to welcome to you Dr. LaJoyce. How are you?
Yes.
How are you? Welcome, Dr. LaJoyce. Are you there? Hello? Dr. LaJoyce, are you there? Hold on one second. We might have had some little technical difficulties because she's supposed to be on the phone line. Hello? Well, wait one second, everybody.
You said she loved to cook.
Maybe she's in the kitchen. Maybe she's in the kitchen cooking.
Her beans.
I don't know. Is she in the kitchen cooking? Let me do a little call. Let's see what's going on. Dr. LaJoyce, are you there? Hold on one second. Okay,
I'm telling you, she cooking them beans in the kitchen. She's like, I got my beans on the stove.
I'm going to call her, everybody. So, shh, be quiet. Let's see what we do. Okay, hold on one second. She was supposed to be on this phone line, so not for sure what happened to her. Dr. LaJoyce, are you here? Okay. Well, I'm not really for sure about what happened to Miss LaJoyce, but we're going to see if she decides to call back in. So without any further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about you and that gorgeous lipstick you have on. So I threw that in there, and I'm going to wait for her to call back because I'm sure that if the phone hung up that she's going to possibly call back.
Yeah, she'll definitely be back on the line.
Because again, you know, everybody, it's all about making sure that we bring you the best here. Of course, we want to make sure that we're bringing you everything that you need in the content. And so what we're going to do really fast while we're trying to get all these technical difficulties. Okay, there she goes. Okay, let's try this right now. Hold on. Let's see. Let's accept. Hello, is this Dr. LaJoyce? Hello? Hello? Okay, I don't know exactly what's happening right at this particular moment, but what we're going to do, everybody, is we'll take you to a straight little commercial plug real quick.
That's how you do it.
We're going to take you to a straight little commercial plug and put you on some more music, and we're going to be right back with you right here on Real Talk of Brookshire when we get our person back on the phone.
just run away, deep into the darkest night. Only vision reflected in your mirror like a light. Underneath the lights, I can be your character. Never rolling. You look like a star from far away. Burning up and burning out. Tell me what you're all about. Don't know where you are, lost in LA. I think you're pilot now. Movie script ain't working out. You look like a star from far away. Burning up and burning out. Tell me what you're all about. Don't know where you are, lost in LA. I can be your pilot now. Movie script ain't working out. The movie script ain't working.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, y'all know I had to do a little jammity jam. So we are live and we are so back. And so what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna bring back in officially Dr. LaJoyce in the house. What's happening, Dr. LaJoyce? Are you here this time? Hold on. Let me make sure I got you and I can hear you all the way. Are you there?
I am here. How are you?
Okay, great.
Yes.
We are so great. You know what? That's the one thing that I love about a live show is because with the live show you have all the little twidgets and nidgets and it's just an amazing thing. So
But it makes it fun.
it makes it very fun. So welcome into the house, Dr. LaJoyce. How are you? Welcome to the Real Talk with
Yes,
Brookshire.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I know we've rendezvoused on the Oprah recap show a couple, maybe like a year or so ago, around the Whitney experience time. And so without any further ado, we just want to jump right into you because again, this show, we don't have a lot of time. So we want to make sure the time that we do use, it's very potent. So now from your experience, for everybody that doesn't know, you are definitely the director of publicity. You were the former director of publicity for Arista Records. Please explain us a little bit about what that means to hold that type of title.
To hold that type of title, well, in order to get that position, you really kind of come up through the ranks and pay your dues within the industry. And in order to have any publicity job, what you first must be is a good writer. Because you crank out a lot of press releases daily, you crank out a lot of bios, just all of the written materials on the artist start in the Office of Publicity. So you must really have a firm grasp and command of the English language, verbally and written skills.
I can definitely dig that. So now you get this job at Arista and you're in charge of what type of talent? Who are you working with?
I used to work with Miss Aretha, with Whitney, Biggie, Puffy,
Wow.
Diddy, Daddy. I don't know what you all call
You said
it.
Diddy Daddy?
Diddy Daddy, look, he didn't change his name so many times.
I worked with Usher and Toni Braxton and Deborah Cox and Monica and Faith Evans, and I worked with a lot of them from the beginning of their careers. So,
wow.
It was really exciting to see and to help mold and to help shape and to help define the artists who are icons today.
Right. Now, how is that? Like how that is a great question. How is that looking back? Some of them, this is maybe 15, 20 years later. Well, I'll say at least 15. How is that looking? What does that do for you when you see this person that came in and was, maybe wet behind the ears, but now they're a superstar? How is that for you?
I actually feel like proud mama, quite honestly. You really want to know the truth? That's exactly what I feel like. I mean, I feel like they're my babies, like I helped raise them, and, it's like, wow, they paid attention to what I said, Puffy finally can say a sentence without saying, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
So I feel, extremely proud.
So for everyone listening, I know that you mentioned earlier that you worked your way up the ranks. So where did you start at? Did you start like doing internships? How did you start for the people that are interested in doing what you're doing?
What I used to do.
Right.
Okay.
I actually started. I started in radio when I was 15. I had an opportunity to become a part of a program. It was a radio television broadcasting program in Chicago where I went to high school. and it was with WBEZ Radio, which was owned by the Board of Education in Chicago, but it was a citywide radio station on FM, and it was a 2-year program, and we had to write and produce and create and perform our own works on radio weekly. So that's how I really started. And then I went to college and majored in broadcasting and was on the radio there, was on television there, moved to New York City, was on radio, was on television. I started doing news. And at first I wanted to do Spanish news.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I majored in speech and Spanish.
Really?
Wow, that's impressive.
I didn't know you had another language.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, so I wanted to do Spanish news, and then when I moved to New York, I caught the entertainment bug and moved over from just regular news to entertainment news, and that's where it kind of stood. And I wrote for Billboard magazine and lots of magazines, and I wrote a weekly syndicated radio program with Donnie Simpson. It was called Top 30 USA. You may remember it. It was a countdown show.
Oh, wow.
And I was one of the team writers for that. And so then the next natural transition from network radio is sort of into the record company side. And so then I worked at Polygram Records. I worked at Hush Productions.
Oh, wow.
With Freddie Jackson and Melba Moore. And then I started my own public relations company. I worked at a company called W&W Public Relations, and then I ended up at Arista.
Wow, Arista. So what was the best part about that for you, working in Arista as a director of publicity? What was the best part for you?
I would say being able to exercise, a lot of my gifts. That the job is definitely not one-dimensional. I mean, you're counselor, you're a publicist, you have to be mama on occasions. You have to, put your foot down and say you're not going to that party tonight. You're going to bed. You have to be on TV in the morning.
Okay.
I have to come and get you. I have to come and I've had to get my artist out of bed. Push him into the shower and force him into a photo shoot.
Wow.
There was a ridiculous amount of money spent. And then, you had the consummate professional like, Miss Aretha and Kenny G, who were seasoned, and I worked with Barry Manilow and Carly Simon. I mean, I didn't have to ever get them out of the bed.
Right.
But,
wow.
I learned a lot from my seasoned artists, as well as, having to teach the younger artists, that first of all, in this business of show business, it's more business than show. And unless you understand that, you will fail.
Oh, that's actually really big. Now, explain that a little bit more in detail.
That it's first and foremost a business. It's not just, lights, camera, you get out there and sing for your supper. Because you have to be able to know how to count the money that you're making from your supper. You need to know where the money is going.
Right.
You need to know what you have to pay back.
That's really big, because I remember even working with you back in the years, and you one of your philosophies was, if I put you in front of Clive, I put you in front of the right person, would you know what to say? Do you know how to handle yourself? Have you read the information? Have you read the books? And so my question to you is, what do you recommend for artists or anyone that's in this industry? What do you recommend them to read or to look at? How do they get the knowledge?
Well, first thing they need to do is get out there. They need to make sure that they're exercising their craft, and honing on their craft and taking classes and taking lessons and sitting at the feet of the greats and listening to good music and trying to define what themselves and not necessarily pattern it after anyone else's career, but certainly, there are lots of blueprints out here. Which one will you choose? I would say that in terms of the business side, the one thing that you have to do is the industry Bible is Billboard magazine. You have to at least have a subscription to that. It comes out every week. There is, excuse me, it's late where I live.
I understand.
Right.
I understand, Doc. I get it.
Sorry. There's a book called Everything You Better Know About the Record Industry. You need to read that. And then there's a novel called Hitman that really sheds a lot of insight on the industry. So I would say those three things for sure will get anybody started. And then, you need to, slink around backstage at, go to open mics where,
right.
It's frequented by industry people. In New York City, we're very fortunate on this coast that there are a lot of industry events weekly. Every Thursday night at the Sugar Bar. It's owned by Ashford and Simpson. And they have an industry night that's open mic. And, literally there are musicians who are on the road with, some of everybody. And when they're off the road, they show up at the Sugar Bar and just bring their axe or sit at the drums or whatever. And the people who actually sing backgrounds, they pass the mic all around the restaurant, and you put your name on the list. When they call your name, you go up there and you tell them what you want to sing, and they play it for you.
Wow,
and
I loved
that.
That
couldn't be more professional.
Right, I remember those days. Very good times. I said I remember those days. Very, very good times. So what I want to do is I want to go into, because of course we always look at Biggie Smalls as a legend. He still is, even though he was one of those ones that may have not had such a long career, but it's still been so important and so potent in our futures that as far as in the rap game and hip hop. Tell us a little bit about your experience with him, and then also the book that you produced, the picture book that you and Elijah produced in memory of Biggie.
Well, the book is actually called The Last Listening Party of the Notorious B.I.G. And it was literally the last listening party that I hosted for the final album that he recorded. And we had two events. One at Daddy's house, which was Puffy's studio, and then 2 nights later we had one at the Arista Records conference room. And it was an invitation-only event for certain journalists.
Oh, wow.
And we sat around the conference table and played every track, and Biggie just quite simply spoke about what his inspirations were, how the beat drove him, and the journalists were able to ask questions about each and every track. It was a phenomenal event. It had never been done before. I dreamt it up, and they let me run with it. We catered it with some of Biggie's favorite food, and none of us would have ever thunk that 2 weeks later he would have been dead.
I can only imagine.
Those photographs are captured. Elijah Muhammad was the hired photographer for that evening. And so he had held on to these pictures for all of those years, and then, for more than a decade, and then finally decided to do something with it and immortalize him. And I wrote the narrative for the book, which is my personal relationship and behind-the-scenes things with Big from the beginning of his career to the end.
So now I just have to ask, because you work with, honestly, one of the best rap artists. I mean, I know with some stories that you put out there about how once you got him into the studio, he was able just to lay it down without any type of time. Like, he was, just tell us some story, just give us a profound story of what you remember about Biggie that this young generation may want or need to hear as far as about his ethic. Or his talent.
Oh, about his ethic. Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you about his talent.
Yes.
More than his ethic. With his talent, he could sit around and just, have casual conversation with a room full of people while the track is just playing over and over and over. And then he'll just, tell the producer, I'm ready. And he'll get up after having shot the breeze for an hour or so, go into the booth, and nail a track without having written anything down, without having, said anything out loud. It'll be stuff. The track would be peppered with whatever conversations he was having throughout the day.
Wow.
And it would just be it would just be smooth out, and it'd be one take done.
Wow, that is
For real.
actually amazing.
Unbelievable. I was like, what is he going in here to do? Why is he clowning? The first time I saw that happen. And that's what I thought. I was like, why is he clowning? I was like, okay, it is way too late. I'm sitting in a corner somewhere yawning because it's late, and and he's telling to somebody he's ready, and he hasn't. And in my opinion, he doesn't look ready because he's eating hot wings and potato chips and drinking pop and it's supposed to be a working environment, but to me, it didn't look like it.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, that's the way he does that?
That's how he do his thing. I could definitely
Okay.
dig that.
Got it.
So I know, Miss Chance, I know you got a question, but I just wanted to really get into this little piece. You were here at the time of the award season because you were with him the last night, correct? Or the night before?
I was not.
Where were you at the time of?
The last night at the Vibe party?
Correct.
Home in the Poconos. I skipped out early. I had the distinct feeling I had a direct encounter from God. God said leave, and I could not get away from LA fast enough. After the Soul Train Awards, if I could have gotten on a flight that night after the Soul Train Awards, I would have. But I changed my ticket to the First Thing Smoking that Saturday morning after the Soul Train Awards, and I took like a 6 o'clock flight back east. And I didn't tell anyone that I was leaving, because when I looked at my calendar and tried to figure out why was I staying in L.A. till Tuesday when the Soul Train Awards were on Friday, and that was the whole purpose of being in Los Angeles, and I had already been there for 8 days.
Right.
And so I was really feeling homesick, having no offense, but I had enough of LA. And hotel rooms and fast food and room service, and after 8 days, that's just too much. So it was just all culminating to, why do I need to really be here 10 days? And the reason why I was staying was for 2 more parties. And I was like, I am not staying out here till Tuesday to go to 2 more parties. I'm just not doing it.
Right.
And one of those parties was the Vibe party. So I packed my stuff. I didn't say that I was leaving. I just quite simply left. And when I was home on that Saturday night, my phone rang in the middle of the night, and Michelle Joyce from Bad Boy Records was screaming, "Thank God you're safe. There you are." Then she screamed over her shoulder to everyone, "She's home, she's home." She said, "Everybody's looking for you." And I'm thinking, I'm busted. And she says, "Turn on CNN, Biggie's dead."
Wow.
And I was like, say what? Yeah.
Wow. So now I know with the story you were saying that happened, and you're shocked, and then the soul food aspect presents itself to you to be able to be a part of that.
When I saw that truck riddled with bullet holes, and it's a truck I had been sitting in.
Right.
I mean, we were riding in that truck all week. And the first thing I said was, my God, you've got to know when to leave the party. See, because if I would have stayed for 2 more parties, I'd have been there. Probably in the truck.
Right.
And so, after he was killed, and I didn't go to work that Monday, I didn't want to face the press. I didn't want to face my colleagues. I was literally depressed and sad, and I'm thinking, I'm a child of God, so I'm thinking, wow, if I had been there, could I have been some kind of covering? Could I have been a kind of protection?
Right.
All these things are running through my head. So I'm like, I needed to decompress, and so I didn't show up to work on Monday. Called in sick, and then when I finally got to work on Tuesday, a dear friend of mine from the industry kept telling me I was traumatized. I was like, well, no joke. And she said, you need a counselor. And so she said, call Human Resources. They'll send you one. And I'm thinking, no, that's all right. I'm not having no counselor come to my office. And she called me every 15 minutes. Did you call Human Resources? Did you call Human Resources? And she said, if you don't call, I'm going to. And so finally I called Human Resources and said, I'm traumatized. I need a counselor. And they sent somebody right over to my office. And while the woman was counseling me, my assistant knocked on the door and said, your agent is on the phone, my literary agent, because I had she was shopping my novel, Web of Deception. So I told the counselor, just one moment, let me take this call real quick. And she said, I gave Web of Deception to HarperCollins. They really liked it, but they need somebody to write Soul Food. Have you heard of it? I said, yeah, we're working on the soundtrack now. And she said, well, they want you to write the book.
Wow.
And I went from depressed and tears to shout dance and praise. And this counselor started writing in her little notebook, and she was like, this woman is crazy. Let me give her some Zoloft or something. And I escorted her out my office, slammed the door, and that's what happened with Soul Food.
That's what happened with Soul Food. So, Auntie, we don't have that much time. We're actually wrapping up, actually. Do you have a question, Chance, that you want to throw out? Yeah, just keep on going. Okay. Yeah. So listen, Auntie, before we go, because I know there's so much that we can talk about, and I'm so glad that you were so candid about this experience, because I really believe that it's going to touch a lot of people. What is the one thing that you know for sure that you would leave with someone in this industry that is wanting to get into PR, publicity, or as an artist, since you've worked with the best, to be ready for what to come nowadays?
I think that first and foremost, you have to be about excellence, and surround yourself with the people who are the best within the industry. And until you can get to the best within your circle, be the best. And wherever you go, whatever you do, and whomever you do it with, just remember, if God doesn't give it to you, it's not worth having.
I can definitely dig that. There it is. I can definitely dig that. We just want to thank you so much for coming into the house. Thank you so much for coming in with us.
Yes, I love the
We appreciate you, right? And then we just want to appreciate you too. So we thank you too, Miss Chance, for coming into the house also.
Thank you.
And doing 2 shows with me and being able to stand in the gap. And Dr. LaJoyce, we just want to see more of you. Where can we find you? Where can we get your stuff from? Where can we find you and look for your books as we're wrapping up?
Amazon.com.
Okay.
Amazon.com, iTunes, BarnesandNobles.com, LaJoyce Brookshire, Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire. See all my books.
There you go. And to all of you out there, I just want to let each and every single one of you out there know that we love you, right? We love you, and we want to just let everybody know. Make sure that you're reaching for your goals with both hands. Again, you've seen it here. You've seen it right here. Reach for your goals. There's somebody waiting on you on the other side, and it's you, a better you than the you are right now. So reach for the next level. Reach for the next level, people, because it's all possible. And until next week, I'm your main man, Mr. Brookshire. I love y'all so much, and this is Real Talk with Brookshire. I holla.
Yeah, now. Here's a little story that must be flowed about the part of the soul that can't be sold. My first word was yo, my second word was damn. My first phrase was yo, damn, I'm the man. With the confident swag, I realized that I had God's voice to lead me to the prominent path. When the fame and the cash, goods in the flash, overtake your mind, your heart gon' last. Cause everybody want a house, everybody want a car, everybody want to be a movie star. When the stars turn dark and the fame don't start, does anybody here have heart? Who got the heart? Does anybody have a heart? Who got the heart? You got the heart. Ha! Stick 'em, ha ha, stick 'em straight to the heart like Daniel Williams. In the rhythm, ha ha ha, rhythm. Open heart surgery on all you victims. You ever felt like you never be